My guy, running a business in this country, Baba, it's not for the faint of heart. This thing has happened to you before. I can bet $2 million. It's divided into two phases: feast and the famine stage. The feast stage is the point where almost everything is soft. Clients are just walking into your door left, right, and center. You are booked out. Everything is just soft for you. And then there is the famine period. Crickets everywhere. Everything is just dry. Your phone has not rang for years, weeks, months. God, what is going on? Waiting they sup. Sakba now is the one getting fat off your misery. It's always like that, undulating, going on when there's work and then going down, no work. It happens in almost every production company all the time, including yours truly. That is very, very bad for business. And I'm going to tell you why. For any business or anything at all to even grow, there has to be some sort of planning. You have to budget money for marketing or buying gear. You have to forecast your profits in the next year and all that. But how can you plan when you don't have a steady income coming in per month? Cash flow is the oxygen of any business. And if there is a truncation of cash flow to a business, that means you are choking the business in the neck, and it's not going to take time. The business is going to die. I have no idea why I'm doing this right now. Content. And so for a while now, I have been thinking about how can we as filmmakers, as production companies, make steady income. And that is where retainers come in. What is a retainer? A retainer is a long-term payment agreement between a service provider and a client. So of course, it's usually the client would pay the service provider, usually on a monthly basis, to perform a certain task or service in return per month. So when I say long-term payments, sometimes retainers can be as long as a year, sometimes as long as 6 months. So it depends on the kind of agreement you have with the client. When does a client need a retainer? Is either one, they are understaffed, so probably they don't have a content creation team and they would just like to outsource, or they're just in need of your services at that time. Do you understand what I mean? Now you see that with a retainer now, you're getting money on a monthly basis, and that changes the conversation entirely because you're moving from unpredicted income to a predictable flow of income, and that is bliss for any type of business. So before we even move any further, the first question should be like, why should I as a company even think about a retainer in the first place? And here's why. Of course, I've already mentioned this several times, which is number one, you have predictable income coming into your business. That's number one. Number two, you have the opportunity to build stronger relationships with your clients, because when you're having a one-off relationship with clients, one-off projects, you don't have enough time to build a relationship with them. And by building a relationship with them, you start to ask them about like their long-term goals, where do they want to be in the next 5 years, and how can you help them reach that goal. Businesses will pay anybody that would help them reach their business goals at all times, and that's what a retainer can help you do. Also, a retainer helps you to spend less time pursuing new clients, because just imagine, for example, you have 3 or 4 retainers now, and each of them are paying you 500,000 naira a month. That's almost 1.5 million naira a month coming into your business per month. Now, when you have that kind of money coming into your business, of course, you still have to always look for more clients, definitely, but you would not be as stressed as you were before, because now you would even be in a place where you can be able to reject or accept new work that comes into your business, because now you're at a place of abundance and you're not in a place of lack and desperation. And so you have a clearer mind to make better decisions that will help your business grow. See what I mean? So there are 2 types of retainers, right? There's the pay for work retainer, and then there's the pay for access retainer. Now the pay for work is when you work, we pay, almost like you're an employee, because they're going to be paying you at the end of each month. And that is usually good for, like trying to build trust and see that you can actually deliver on the service before they commit to any large commitments with you in a retainer. But then the second one, which is the pay for access retainer, is an advanced type of retainer that is for people that have a real mad track record of doing great work. For you to have access to them, you will pay them upfront. So if you want them for a year, you will pay that year's retainer fee upfront so that you now have access to their services for that year. That's dope stuff. Now, as beautiful as the retainer is, of course, there are some dangers. And then the biggest one, which I'm still trying to figure out, is scope creep. Now, scope creep is where what you guys agreed on as per work, the client is now asking you to do more. And it's very, very, very easy to happen in a retainer. That is why it is very important to send in an agreement that details the scope whenever you're doing a retainer with any client whatsoever. The next question will now be, when is the best time to pitch a retainer? It's going to be very difficult to pitch a retainer to a company you have not worked with, because a retainer is a very long commitment and nobody just wants to commit to someone who they don't know. But here's the thing, the best way to pitch to a client about a retainer is after you have finished a project with them. So when you're finished a project with them and they really love what you did for them, then you can pitch them the retainer and start asking questions like, yo, so what are your plans now after this video? What do you want to accomplish with your business? How can we help you solve these problems? And then when they start telling you their long-term goals, their KPIs and all those kinds of things, then you can now think about ways to structure your retainer so that it can help them solve their problem. And if you can do that, they will definitely want to work with you. But if you've never worked with a client before and you want to pitch a retainer to them, it's best to move in with the pay for work strategy. So that way you can help build trust between you and the client. So you're in a retainer right now. How do you make sure that your clients are happy with you the whole time? Number one, make sure you have effective communication. Communicate as much as possible. Be transparent. Tell them everything that's going on. Let them see how this video is helping them grow, because if they don't see it, you are useless to them. To set expectations and scope, it is so important. Let them know exactly what is going to happen in the retainer and what is not going to happen in the retainer. And then please do not allow TAILOR syndrome to catch you. Don't fall into the trap of taking in jobs that you don't have the bandwidth to do. If you already have 3 retainers and you want to take a 4th retainer in, then you should build up a team that can take in a 4th, a 5th, or 6th retainer. So retainers is something that I'm seriously considering right now, and I have already started pitching it to clients and hoping that we're able to secure 1 or 2 or 3. So this video is going to serve like a part 1. When I start getting more clients into the retainer system, then we would have a lot more to talk about. So if you learned something new, please give us a thumbs up. As always, give us a thumbs up. Comment in the comment section below what you think about this video, and also share it to as many people as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the video. Don't forget to hustle hard, hustle smart, but either way, get the bag. It is a hustle guinea pig, and I will see you all, God willing, in the next video. Butter!